Okay, so welcome to our apocalypse. My name is Arnold Eigger from No Plans for Chaos, my good friend here.
Steve O Leff from ROCKIN Engine. It's a pleasure to be here today. Finally, it's been a while since we started this project, and it's D-Day. We're finally here.
Exactly, yeah, not long after D-Day celebration. It's really hot. It's really hot weather today, so we're really nice in the basement, in the cool place.
All cozy.
Wonderful area of the suburbs of Ottawa, capital of Canada. Place with good bands, good beer, and good pot.
Well, I don't know for pot. I don't smoke pot. But I know there's good beer, and sometimes there's not enough.
So what about Rocking Engine? Any news, any special activity at the moment?
Well, right now, we've been working on our new album. We've been working on several songs now, so I think we're up to 5 songs that are pretty much done. And otherwise, we've been pretty busy. I mean, considering that the past year we haven't done anything like everyone, but we kept pretty busy. We kept writing. We kept creating music. We tried to create content, with other stuff like covers and stuff like that. We posted a few covers just for the fun of it.
Yeah, it's good for the mental.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Spirit.
Yeah, just to keep things, the hands moving and the vocal cords. So besides that, we talked about a lot of projects, here and there. We've been talking about this project, this podcast, for a while now.
Yep.
And I've also been busy talking to some people on Twitter, and we've been working on some stuff, collaborations. So I've been collaborating with some musicians in the United States, and it's still ongoing. We're not
Cool.
we're not finished yet, but it's a nice little project.
That's the thing.
Yeah, just
Same
keeping
for,
busy.
For No Plans. Always working, always busy. I was busy recording tracks for my audio book. So that's the plan at the moment. Working as well for the podcast, and we'll get into details about that. So yeah, we've been working, let's say maybe 2 months now about on this project together. Like
Pretty much.
It goes fast, and it's kept us busy, and finally we got it started, and we got
Exactly.
some feedback from people as well. So today we'll just take a little time to present ourselves, to present the backgrounds we have. For you in Rocking Engine and myself in No Plans for Chaos, and we'll have a presentation of 2 of the videos we've put out.
Yep.
And we'll also have a feature of a band that is from the area as well.
Yes, we'll be featuring As We Suffer from Ottawa, Canada, and it was John Asher who recommended this band to us, and fortunately, I already knew this band. They're freaking awesome. So we're going to talk about that a little later.
Yeah, it was a total discovery for me, and I probably heard about them. Probably from Rob Bell. I think he's posting
Yep.
a lot of stuff. He's a new guitar player in the
Absolutely,
band. So, yeah.
and that's wicked good news.
So I don't have the pleasure to know the guys, but maybe one day we'll meet them. So about the podcast, what can we say about the first idea we had? I know that for myself, I wanted to reach fans, metalheads. I wanted to use my experience as a musician to give back.
Yeah.
And to also create some content where people could learn and get entertained and get learn stuff about what it is to be in a band. So basically, no bullshit, just 100% true stuff.
Absolutely. There's only the truth. And I also wanted to take the opportunity to help out, starting musicians or starting bands or maybe intermediate level bands that want to step up their game a little bit, because sometimes it kind of gets cloudy with all the stuff that you need to know when you're starting. and all the networking, with other bands, with promoters and stuff like that. Music production, management, music video production, and all that. So I think this podcast will help a lot of musicians throughout, all the simple details that need to be said. And of course, I mean, there's a lot of musicians out there that, they already know this stuff, and it's good. I mean, good for them. But sometimes, the smaller bands or the musicians that are not as known as the bigger bands, well, they tend to, work more, for less.
Well,
So
they have to get smart.
yeah,
right?
I mean, well,
They have to understand new ways, because the environment has changed so much, right? So
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, right now, compared to from when I started, it was like, it's totally different.
yeah,
And a lot of bands are releasing their own stuff, producing their own stuff, using social media. So basically, yeah, I think you always learn. You always learn. You always have to interact with people and get to open up yourself, right?
yeah, absolutely.
And that way you can create a good network, an ability to expand your networking as well, and
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
always good to meet new people, right?
Always.
Meet new band or know about new band.
I mean, the thing about meeting new people is that you get to they get to share their experiences with you, and sometimes if you're fortunate enough, they can give you some critiques, and that's where you build as a musician and as a person, as a performer, And I think that's where I learned the most, is when I talk to other people in the business. And whether it was starting musicians or like expert level musicians, huge producers and stuff like that. I mean, you always learn, and you have a different view from each person that talks about it. And that's where you can build your own, mindset on every subject. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to do some networking. You need to reach out to people and talk, talk about different subjects. And
Exactly.
yeah.
And that's why, when I came up with the idea, I wanted another musician, so we could just like exchange, interact onto, well, how do you do this?
Yeah.
Tell me. I want to know. I want to learn how, being from your perspective, how you do things, how you want to approach, the way you want to promote your band, the way you want. So, and I can definitely learn. And the same, in the other way around, you can learn from my experience as well, or
Exactly.
what kind of strategy I'm applying to my music, right? So,
And the funny thing about this is that Arnold and I didn't know each other before he presented me with this project. So as musicians, we just, it just worked. I mean, we just started talking, and we ended up talking for hours, and without even, without any subject. We just, talked about music, and everything went from there.
Yeah.
And I think there's a good chemistry there, and that's why I accepted.
yeah, and it's quite interesting, when it's true exchange. That's the idea. I mean, we're not there for, for making money, for, for the show, for the glam,
Money.
for anything. We're just there to, enjoy our relationship, build something that where, each band can learn from and reach out to new people, basically.
Exactly. I mean,
And that's it. I think that's the smart way to use the social media, like the YouTube channels opportunity. That's a good way. And I think, if you look at it on the long run, you definitely have something to take from there.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I think any musician, any band can learn a thing or two about what we have to say. And if, by all means, if some of you have comments and you want to send us your ideas or suggestions or whatever, please feel free to do so. And you can reach us, by the way, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, which we will cover later on the podcast.
So, Steve, tell us more about that video and also the starting point of the band, Rocking Engine.
Yeah, well, the video was Let It Burn. So it took off from our album, The Wretched and the Damned, released on October 31st in 2020. And produced by Dark Moon Productions. And the video as well was the recording and production of the video was from Dark Moon Productions as well. And so just to give a little background on myself and my band. So again, I'm Steve. So a lot of people know me as Steve O Leff on social media. And so I'm the singer and guitarist for Rockin Engine. Rockin Engine started in 2015. We started as a cover band. So we were my still the same guitarist, lead guitarist, who has actually the same freaking name as I have. So that's why we have little nicknames now. So I'm Steve O Leff, he's Steve V Leff, and and our drummer Joël Bilodeau. We started a band together in 2015, and like I said, it was a cover band. We covered music like Motley Crue, Metallica, stuff like that. You know, we even did some Rob Zombie and stuff. You know, Megadeth, and it was really fun. I mean, we covered a lot of party songs and really.
And this was as Rocking Engine.
Yeah, we started the band knowing that we were playing cover bands. That's why we started with that name, Rockin Engine. Because we were basically, just rockers, just kicking the shit and having fun. And after a while, I mean, we've been playing covers for like 3 years, and we kind of, it kind of started to be, repetitive. And not that it wasn't fun, but it was repetitive, and we didn't have the same energy on the stage as when we started. We were all excited and we loved it, but after a while, when you're used to play the same songs or the same type of songs, and you have the kind of the same audience, you kind of want more.
Yeah. And
we wanted to expand as well as a band, so we needed to do something, to get a little broader and reach out to people. So that's when we started to write our own music, and we just started with 2-3 songs, just for fun, just to present it.
And who was the bass player at that time?
Yeah, I didn't talk about the bass player.
That's right. Poor guy.
Well, Nicolas Rioux was our first bass player. Actually, no. It was Fred Beaulieu. He was our first bass player. And but the guy was extremely busy. He had a young family. He had his own business, and he had to drive like an hour every time he wanted to jam with us. So it was kind of complicated when it came to shows. And the guy was absolutely phenomenal as a bass player and as a person as well. So we didn't kick him out. There was no there was nothing bad. There wasn't any bad blood between us. But the thing is, it was just not working, and we wanted it to work, and he knew it too. And he actually said to us, look, guys, I mean, I know you guys want to move forward with the music, and I just can't keep up. So we're like, okay, well, do you mind if we start checking for another bassist? I don't want to be rude about it. And he said, yeah, I mean, by all means. So I kind of knew that this was coming. Yeah. So I already had another bassist, in mind, and I kept his Facebook information, on the side, just in case, because I knew that this was going to happen later, sooner or later. So, but not because I wanted it to, but it was just obvious. And so I contacted the guy, which was Nicolas Rioux, and he was a student here in Ottawa. So he actually lived like 10 hours from here, at his parents', but he was studying here at the time. So I reached out to him and said, yeah, I want to play. So, okay, really? All right. So let's set up a meeting. And he came up to us, and the guy was really young, but he was really, really talented. So I was like, okay, man, like what are the chances that you get on your first shot that you get another bassist the day after? I mean, that's, that's almost impossible.
But what is it with bass players? Because
I don't know.
You had 3 and we had 5. Right? So there's something like what is happening with those guys, right?
Yeah. And they say that they're the least. How can I say it? I mean, they have a perception, towards singers and guitarists and drummers too. They have a perception about everyone. So, but I mean, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It was really a matter of circumstances because we never had any, any stories, like negative stories with our band members. Never. So
No,
just
it's just difficult to keep guys around.
I mean, we're all working, we're all busy. We have young families. We have some go to school and some work and some some don't have money. So so it's kind of
So who's the bass player right now?
okay.
You
Right
didn't
now,
mention it.
well, eventually Nick had to move on because his school was very demanding. He's now I think he became a lawyer. So it was a lot of nights at school and stuff like that. So he said, but
You weren't there.
yeah,
Maybe he was with girlfriends.
yeah, most probably, yeah. I'm pretty sure he was, but no, it's all good. Nick. We love you. But yeah, but now afterwards, after Nick had to leave, I did a post on Facebook, searching for another bass player, and pretty quickly I had
So you're a lucky guy.
I guess I am. So we were introduced to JP, our latest bassist. Our latest bassist. That's kind of odd to say, but yeah. So the bassist we have right now, and hopefully he's going to stay, is JP, and his nickname is Buzzard. If you want to know why, you're gonna have to come see us live. He's like a buzzard, literally. Okay, so the guy came to a jam session, and just his energy while he's playing is just phenomenal. I mean, the guy couldn't hit a freaking note if he wanted to, and he could steal the show if he wanted. He's just a beast.
So when was that? When he joined? Was it 2015?
It was actually during the production of our first album. So imagine that. On our first album, we changed bassists 3 times. So that's why we were kind of having trouble, finding ourselves on that album, and we were kind of jumping, between styles and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was hard to manage at that point. But when
so you had 3 different guys playing on the album.
Yep, exactly.
On different songs.
Yep, that's for sure. And but yeah, so JP stepped up, and I mean, man. He's like I said, he's a freaking beast. When you see him live, I mean, you'll just know. And so yeah, afterwards we produced our second album, which is The Wretched and the Damned. And so yeah, and then everything went from there.
Yeah.
So the band is still healthy in a way. I mean, besides what didn't happen last year, and we're still moving forward, and the train keeps rolling.
So as people could judge from the little clip we played, they clearly see that you're into a kind of Mad Max wasteland apocalyptic vibe. So tell me about where it comes from.
Well, the thing is, Mad Max was not the actual main influence. Everything that is apocalyptic or chaotic or whatever bloody in our videos is mainly because I'm a huge horror fan, and I'm into 80s horror and 90s horror and stuff like that. So I always watch horror movies at home on Netflix and Amazon Prime. I'm always on horror movies, and I just love everything about it. And I mean, I get a lot of my inspiration when I write from horror movies as well. And one of our new songs is based on, the story behind American Psycho, which is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fun one to play because it's going to be really heavy. And so, yeah, I mean, the whole Mad Max thing was more like, just the result of all the ideas that came up together. And it just ended up being like Mad Max. So, but it wasn't the intention, from the start.
It's not, well, it's just to give a little, to have a little reference. But to me, it's totally really your own identity there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when I saw it, I definitely had that first...
Everybody had that feeling,
it's like,
Mad Max.
Those guys are, which is cool because Mad Max is such a
it's a killer movie.
It's a huge reference for anything horror movies. Well, there's not really horror, but like
apocalyptic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the end of the world.
Dystopian, something totally different from our reality.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that like from the costumes and everything you prepped up, it was really going into that direction of giving that definite look of something that looks apocalyptic and heavy and in your face. And I think that video is really really a success there.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that. It was most definitely a lot of work. I mean, we've worked I won't say several hours, but several months on this project, and it was a lot of work, a lot of thinking, a lot of preparation, a lot of planning, and just to give an idea to everyone, because I think it's important to, when you do a huge production like that, because I think it's a huge production when you see it. There's a lot of stuff that you have to think about, as a band. First of all, there was the whole idea of the image that we wanted, to represent this song. And so, the entire band, we talked together, and it was kind of hard to get an idea from the start. But as we worked through it, the ideas start flowing, and it was good. So communication is key here, obviously. And but afterwards, when you want to put everything down, everything on camera, there's a lot more stuff than people would know that you need to do a video like that. So first of all, you need a great location.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a great location, don't expect, a great production. The cameraman, the camera guy, he needs some room, he needs space, he needs depth. He needs a lot of stuff, in his images to get exactly, what you want. Yeah. And so if you plan on...
But luckily in Canada, we do have a lot of room, right?
Yeah, I mean...
We have big fields and big woods and big forests.
It's kind of a big country.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we were lucky enough to... actually, our guitarist, he was able to hook us up with a company which had like a huge sand pits in Macham, Quebec. And so we were able to go over there, and the owner was super cool about it. I mean, we didn't hide anything. We told him all the details that we were going to do, everything we were going to do. And he was like, yeah, go ahead. You guys just close the gate when you're done.
Yeah, burn the place up.
I was like, really? That easy? And he didn't even charge us a cent. I mean,
that's cool.
That's amazing. I mean,
cool.
That was really, really cool. So we really took care of, cleaning up the place afterwards, and, just being sure that nothing, was broken or whatever, because there was industrial machinery as well on in the field. So it was, we didn't want to break anything.
No.
And afterwards, we needed to talk about lighting, special effects and stuff like that. The background, the scenery. What did we want? Because it's fun to have the space, but you need a background. You need something. So that's pretty much where the whole chaotic thing came up. The whole chaotic idea came up. So at some point we talked about buying some barrels. It was such a struggle to find barrels. Man, I'm telling you.
Really?
Yeah. We looked everywhere. We looked into scrapyards and stuff like that. We couldn't find any freaking barrels.
Well, go to any Canadian Tire, and
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can.
Maybe, but we're still on a budget here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
if you want to
some
buy
free barrels.
yeah, we wanted free barrels. Everything we want is free. So no, but seriously, I mean, it was hard to find, the everything, to fit in our budget.
Yeah.
Because as a band, I mean, if you're not an international band, you're not living from your music. And even if you are an international band, sometimes you still have to work when you get home, when you finish touring and stuff like that. So there's not a lot of money to make into music. So that being said, you got to do it because you love it. So yeah, I mean, so afterwards, thinking of the budget, we wanted to get some barrels, and we ended up, buying barrels from a contractor, who used like I don't remember the product, but he uses that to seal some stuff. And so yeah, he sold the barrels for like $15 a piece. So we like, all right, man.
And how many did you? How many?
I think
did you
we got.
need?
I think we got like 15 or something like that. And so afterwards, the only thing we had to do was make them rust. So we just made sure they were all empty, and we cut through them. We kicked them. We bashed them. We just to break the paint.
Yeah, with baseball bats.
Yeah, and afterwards, just the rain did the rest. I mean, just let it outside in the rain, and the rust came back. Came afterwards. So
Rust and fire.
yeah,
It's all you needed, right?
that's it. That's all we needed.
So tell me, Steve, I'm sure they want to know, did the idea of the costume came after you had found the location, or did you worked on that first?
Well, I think it was just. I think it all started with me, basically. I think I'm kind of
So did you design your own costumes?
yeah. Everything we did in that video was from scratch.
And then it gave the direction for the other guys in the band to
Yeah,
just create something that had the same vibe or the same idea.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I mean, I started thinking, okay, so we're gonna do this chaotic video, and we want this to look really badass. So I didn't want to just play, in my t-shirt and jeans, and because with a killer, badass scene like that. So it's okay. Well, costumes would be nice. I mean, but we didn't want to go like over the top, which we ended up doing. But
Yeah.
but it all started with just a piece at a time, and it ended up being like a huge thing. And at some point we were laughing because we were looking at our stuff and we're like, man, we're gonna look like Twisted Sister. So I was like,
No, I think it's pretty. It's not too much. It's just fine. It's just it's almost like Hollywood style thing. I think everything is just well thought of, and everything is just at the right place with the right color, and you really achieve that band identity really well, and I think the result is amazing. And I'm pretty sure your next video is probably giving you nightmares because the bar is so high now.
Well,
that you will have, but that's another story, right?
Joe Moon, All right, so yeah, but I'm already planning on our other video, and Joe from Dark Moon Productions is gonna have a handful on that one. So yeah, but the whole thing with the outfits, I did a lot of research on the steampunk community. And I actually got a lot of ideas from that. So I started sharing, these ideas with the guys from the band. And we just, it just went from there. Yeah, and cool. Everyone was buying their stuff and, building their own costume. I mean, our bassist had like 6-inch nails in on his shoulders, which he literally almost killed himself like 70 times on that night. Well, but yeah, I mean, it all went from there.
It's got to be dangerous, right?
Oh, he's dangerous even
When
without the
living,
costume.
when you're living in the wasteland, it's got to be dangerous. He's a dangerous guy anyway.
Oh yeah, he's dangerous for sure. But and yeah, even the background. I mean, me and Joel, our drummer, we did it ourselves. I mean, we were in his wood shop at his place a few nights, and we just carved, our logo into plywood, and we just painted it and put it on a scaffolding right behind the drum, and that's what did the background.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was pretty much it. The rest was like just placement,
Placements and lighting.
Yeah, the lighting and the effects. I just want to say thank you to Scotty Rufo from the Brass Monkey, who was cool enough to lend us or whatever the smoke machines, the geysers actually that were in our video. So that was pretty cool from you, man. Thank you. Yeah. And all the lighting, all the extra lighting was actually provided by Dark Moon Productions, and I mean he has everything you want. So when you call him, I mean, I'm going to do a lot of promotion for this guy because it's kind of a all-in-one deal. When you call him, you're doing a video. He has everything you need for the sound. He has everything you need for lighting. He has all the cameras he needs. He has his beautiful girlfriend Lisa, who takes amazing photos during the shoot. And so, I mean, everything's there. So you get a freaking video, I mean, high quality video, and a great production. And you get like super cool pictures of the band during the set and before the set. So, I mean, what's not to
yeah.
I mean...
And he's a good guy. I mean, I've known him for years.
Yeah.
We played shows together a couple of times, so... I know he's a good guy, and I'm really happy that he really made his name around here, and a lot of bands are just using his services. It's crazy.
He makes a huge difference in the Ottawa-Gatineau region for musicians, especially metal musicians. And yeah, I mean, he's done a lot. He's done a lot for the community. Yeah. So I mean, afterwards, regarding the video shoot. We had to think about the money. So money was an issue for sure, and it's going to be an issue for anyone who wants to do a big production like that. So that's why we built everything, from scratch, because we wanted to save money, and there wasn't a lot of revenue, for the band at that point either. And so I mean, we had to figure things out, and we did, and it worked out.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of work. There was a lot of investment, in time.
But if you don't build things, you can steal them.
Oh,
that's a good way to save money. Well, you said that you had to buy all the barrels, so that was it the most expensive?
I think it was
money that you had to spend on that,
and it was like I think it was like $300, for all the barrels.
So how many people were involved on that shooting? Like just the guys of the band plus how many people?
We had actually two other guys helping us on the set while building the set. So there was
like friends from musicians.
Yeah, JP's brother and Joel's brother-in-law. So they were there the whole day, and actually it was one hell of a day. It was a lot of work, I tell you. Just building the set took us almost 8 hours, and so we were there like on a Saturday at noon, and we finished building the set at pretty much 8 o'clock at night. So everything was set up. The sound gear was set up. The lighting, the effects, everything was there. So we started shooting at 8:30 at night.
Okay.
And we finished at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
It was exhausting. It was a lot of work. Everybody was struggling, with everybody was struggling at some point, because when you were taking a break, while Joe was filming someone, the other guy was crashing out, Oh, shit. So tired. But there was a lot of energy put into it, so there was a reason why we were tired. And
well, it doesn't show as you play in the video.
we were keeping our energy for the shoots, because between the shots, I mean, we were all like, the eyes were like this, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so tired. But But yeah, I mean, we had to think of, the end result. So it's like when you do a show on stage, even if you're tired or you're not feeling well, you have to sell it.
Exactly.
And that's the same thing, when you're doing a video, you have to freaking sell it.
Yeah.
Because that shit is going to stay on YouTube for years, man. So
yeah, and that's the only way you have to prove yourself, right?
Exactly.
So you better be there and do it.
That's the thing, man.
And do it well.
Yeah. So the end result was absolutely amazing, and I'm super happy with the result. It couldn't have gone better. I mean, everything was perfect, and yeah, great experience. Great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a great song to start with.
Well, thank you so much, Arnold.
No, that's probably my favorite one. Well, one of my favorite ones from the album. So,
well, thanks, man.
That was definitely something to select as a video clip, and I'm, like you said, I think you really have all the reasons to be proud, because everything you guys did was just top notch.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, everything we did was really for us. I mean, for the love of heavy metal. So,
and I'm pretty sure you get the feedback that you get, because it's such a good video that
Yeah, I mean,
it's difficult for anybody to watch it and not feel like, wow,
Well,
this band, I think they nailed it.
Well, I think so. I think we put enough, energy and time into it to be a successful song, and I think and to me, I think it's successful. I think maybe to a huge like super top notch bands known around the world. I mean, they don't know me, and it doesn't matter, because I don't do it for the entire world. I do it for me first,
exactly.
And if people like it, well, good.
It's all we do. We do it for ourselves first, right?
Exactly. You have to love what you do.
You have to be proud of it, because you put all your guts, all your heart to it, and most of the time, it shows. It's like I said. I mean, it's true to yourself, right?
Exactly. I mean, you have to do it for the love of it.
Good job, pal.
Thank you, Arnold.
You're welcome. To our apocalypse.
All right, so Arnold, now we're going to talk about your video for Revolution.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about the story behind the concept of that video.
Well, the whole No Plans for Chaos is a concept as it is. So basically, I won't have time to just explain everything about the whole concept, but basically, to make it short, it's like the whole songs we played, like 13 songs, it's all about a story that comes from a book that I wrote.
Okay.
And the idea that we wanted to develop was, how can we bridge music and different art form of art, right?
Okay.
And we thought that maybe we had writing literature. So it's all about sci-fi. It's nothing, it's nothing like classic literature, but it's sci-fi story.
Okay.
Dystopian. So I came up with the idea of the story for the book, and then as I wrote the songs, basically I used each songs to be like a little part of the book story.
Okay. Okay.
And then we had another project that was backing that, and we wanted to use another story that was not developed in the book, but that was inspired by it, to have a web series, some videos that we wanted to. So basically, we had 3 videos for that story. That was called New Task Force, right?
All right.
And then the band, as you know, we had that big pandemic, and everything was like stopped, and it almost killed the band. Well, so basically, right now,
like several bands.
Yeah, right now I'm just. I have a new drummer. I have, but the band started, like you, in 2015 with a really stable lineup.
Okay.
And the song Revolution was, it's like one of the 13 songs that was the backbone of the book story.
Okay.
And it's basically, the revolution comes from, it's the starting point of scientists in the story rebelling against the authority so they could try to put together a new direction to stop, because basically humanity is going to extinction because of, nuclear waste and nuclear disasters.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And so Revolution is just one of those little story that is the backbone of the book.
So what got you into writing a book?
Well, I wanted to have a concept that was original.
Okay.
So basically, I was thinking maybe, nobody did that.
Yeah.
Nobody used music to illustrate a book.
Okay.
And vice versa. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm the first one. We're the first band who tried to, do something different. And so right now, it's not only music that we're selling or that we're proposing to, the fans. It's also a story. It's also, it's a concept that goes beyond just music.
Yeah, I think it's insane, when you think of it, because, insane in a good way, because, just having the energy to write a book itself is very demanding. I mean, it's a lot of time.
It's 3.5 years of work.
Well, there you go.
So
I just wrote a preface for a book, and it took me like 3 months.
Yeah. No, it's definitely it's something to be proud when it's done, because I mean it's been a lot of work, and but it stays there when it's done. It's there, right? I mean, it's something that will never go away.
Well, it's yours forever. I mean,
and it's a great achievement for me. And I think right now is the time where I can just use this as a way to promote the band, and vice versa. I can use, the music videos to sell the book as well. And that's where I'm going right now, right?
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
So the song was basically it was an old song that I reused for the band.
Okay.
It's something that I composed a long time ago, like around 20 years ago, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, around 2000. And I was feeling that it was a good song, so it could be, used in a new way within the concept. So basically, the concept, is from old ideas and new stuff.
All right.
It's not all 13 songs, brand new stuff that we wrote, but I use some of the songs that I've written in the past.
Okay.
To fix the concept.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So tell me about the production of your video, because I see when I watch the video, I mean, it's all like footage, from war and stuff like that. So tell me, I know it's, the theme is based on your book and stuff like that, but how did you come up with the idea of that video? Yeah.
So basically, since I was on my own after the band just broke up in a way in 2020, I wanted to continue create some stuff. So I was thinking maybe if I could use some old vintage footage that were historic. So basically, I looked up on the internet for like old videos of the Bolshevik, the Russian Revolution of 1917, right? So that's where it started. The whole song started there. because it's a symbol of a break in history, and a lot of people now don't even remember it, right? They don't even know that we had a First World War, right? So
they know something happened, but they're not sure when or where.
And I always think it's good to use some stuff from history. So basically, it's totally different from what I said, because in the book, the revolution came from the heroes, the scientists got rebelled from that they wanted to create something that the authority was not enabling them to do, right?
Okay.
And now I had a different approach for the video, because it was impossible to just have actors and develop the whole thing as a film, right? So I have to use something different. So I was thinking maybe use the idea of that, the revolution through time, like starting with the Russian Revolution, then the war, then Stalin time, and then the Cold War. And
I remember seeing Stalin in there.
Yeah, and it's spanning from all these different eras.
Yeah.
And it finishes on like missiles going in the sky, and that's what the concept is about. The concept is about post-apocalyptic nuclear disasters.
Okay.
So from wars, from accidents. The first thing that started the whole thing was the Fukushima catastrophe in 2011. When I was witnessing that, I had the idea that we have to use that as the starting point of the concept,
as an inspiration for everything developing from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, that's it. So I compiled all the footage and then put them together. We did the sound production ourselves with Matt Desjardins, my drummer, and so right now I'm just working with him and another lead guitar player that is a good friend of mine who lives in France.
Okay.
But I will be working on getting musicians from around here, Ottawa, to just do live shows when it's going to be ready.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can arrange something out.
Yeah, definitely. Will be nice to go back on stage for sure.
Oh, damn. Tell me about it.
Especially with new ideas. I mean, right now I'm still writing new stuff too, demoing new stuff. So it will be nice to have share that with live musician, rehearse the new stuff. So that's the idea about Revolution.
Excellent. So we're where can we watch this? I know we can watch it on Facebook. We're going to be able to watch it on YouTube, and we'll make sure to share it with all of you in the description of this episode.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's already on the Facebook page, No Plans for Chaos Facebook page. It's going to be I'm putting a YouTube channel as well, so it's not yet done, but it's going to be on my YouTube channel.
Excellent.
And it's going to be on anything that the podcast is using as well.
For sure.
And I want to use it to promote the band as well, like. You guys have a wonderful video. It's nothing compared to the level of production that you have.
Well, sometimes it doesn't need a certain level of production. It needs to be, you. It needs to be the band. It needs to express what you want to express. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be a huge production. I mean, I'm into movies and stuff like that, and I've always dreamed of being an actor or going to Hollywood, to shoot a horror movie, but the only way I can make it work is doing it myself. So it's kind of, one thing.
It's always something that, your personal feelings or abilities or perception and ideas have to be through or look through. You can have, that's something that needs to be there. It doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really need. It's a good idea is a good idea. Like a good song is a good song, despite the level of production. If you listen to some of the Beatles songs, they were recorded on 4 tracks, and they're still really nice and really well produced and put together.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if the technology of the time was like so,
It wasn't digital, you know. It wasn't as
it was just
easy as today.
rudimentary.
Yeah, exactly. But the real professionals in that trade were the masters. You know, they were they were the gods.
I
you
think
know,
it's
behind the
always
sound.
true, you know, like you know, if you're true to yourself and you think that you dig up the good ideas and you put something that is original in a way, then I mean, the job's done. You know, it's all a question of, you know, having the feedback from people who are just looking at it. I'm really happy with all the feedback that I have. I've had some real nice comments on Facebook, for example.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome video too. I mean, you know, looking at it, it was. I found it very interesting to see all the historical events, you know, going through, and you know, having seen these, you know, events before, you know, in history classes and stuff like that. You know, you're like reminded of all the stuff that went on, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's kind of cool to see all that, and to in your perspective, you know, and I think it's even cooler now that I know that it's based on your novel that you wrote.
Yep.
So I think that's that just makes it, you know, even better for me.
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, it's just the novel is really you know, into like developing the whole story, and it's difficult to just. So that's why, you know, the songs were like intricated or integrated into the novel, but it's always difficult to just, you know, it's almost impossible to put, you know, like 10 chapters or 20 chapters into one song, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be like one little event or one little hint of what's
Just a
going
snippet.
on.
Yeah.
What's going on in the novel. But the novel stands for itself. I mean, if you're really into dystopian sci-fi stuff, like, you know, we were saying Mad Max. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, the story it's takes place in 2077, and basically, just to sum it up, so those scientists are living underground because the whole planet is like contaminated, right?
Okay.
So people who are living on the surface are like really contaminated people, and they live into camps. But people in the shelters, they are the scientists and all the people who are just like trying to survive. And they have that, you know, what they call UNO. It's it's a global organization that is trying to save humanity, but they're not doing the right thing. So scientists are just trying to convince them to do differently.
Okay.
And since they don't manage to do that, they just say, well, we have to rebel. We have to just make a conspiracy so that we can do something. And what they want to do is they have a theory that they can contact people in the past and work on what happened. So they contacted people at Chernobyl, and they tried to just stop the catastrophe, but it was impossible.
Okay.
And then they did it for Fukushima, and Fukushima, it worked. And that's the whole story. So
Nice.
At the end of the novel, it's basically, I don't want to give everything up, right? But so that's the whole story.
Yeah.
They are trying to just prevent all the things that are happening because, you know, humanity is just destroying the world.
Yeah.
And you know, if you look at the reality of today, it's already happening anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So there you have it. So we have like a bigger production, smaller production, but in the end, everybody can produce a video. All the budgets can produce a video. It's just a matter of what you want to the people to see, what message you want to share with the people. So, I mean, whether you're a starting musician with a very low budget, there's nothing preventing you from, you know, producing pretty cool videos. So sometimes it's just a matter of having the right equipment, the right information, the right software, whatever, or sometimes just having someone who can help you out with it, and afterwards you can build up on your experience and, you know, do it yourself afterwards, where you can save a lot of money. So and
you can also use a lot of. I mean, you have so many good tutorials on the internet
now.
that
For
teach
sure.
you anything. I mean, you can just Google how to produce a video, and you'll find 10 or 20.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, everything is out there. Everything is at at reach, and it's just a matter of how much time and effort you want to put into your work. And regardless of the music you're doing or the genre that you're playing, your music is only as successful as the time you put into it. So people can put like, if you're lucky, maybe you don't have to put a lot of hours into your music and it's going to hit big, but it's pretty rare. But I mean,
I think it's always down to to be true to yourself and make sure that if you don't have the production or if you don't have the people that can help you and you can pay, you can always spend more time, do it, at your own pace, and concentrate on the ideas of your production.
That's a good point about taking your time and doing it right, because having to when we did the video for Let It Burn. I mean, we had like kind of a release date, in mind. So things were kind of rushed in a way. Not there weren't rush, in terms of the time we put into it, but after the video shoot, it was kind of rushed, for our producer to release the video because you have to understand, and I didn't know at that time, but you have to understand that there's a lot of work that your producer needs to do afterwards, and there's a lot of time, and you know what? You're not his only client, so but you learn, you learn from that, and so now I know that I have to be aware, of the time frame before the release. So I need to be able to have the video a few months before, or at least a few weeks before the release. Because the other thing is, if you want to use a promoter to promote your stuff, well, if you only give like 1 or 2 weeks for the PR manager to promote your stuff, well, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
So you need at least 4 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks if you can. Mm-hmm. So have your stuff ready, at least 6 weeks before the release, whether it's a video, a single, or a full album or an EP. Have everything ready to release at least 6 weeks before the actual release. Yeah. That way, your PR manager is going to love you.
And exactly. I mean, what's the point of investing so much money into your product if you don't have the time to use it properly, right?
Well, you have to let you have to give people the time to appreciate. I mean, when I say the people, it's all the PR managers networking. Has all the podcasts, all the radio stations, all the promoters, all the labels, the magazines, and stuff like that. You want them to have it first. You want them to see everything first before the release, so they have the exclusive stuff, and they feel the need afterwards to give you a review, give you some place in a magazine, or some stuff like that, or a radio airplay. So but if they're not exclusive, they're not going to feel important in a way. So
so you're right. So you know what, Steve? There's no expiry date on a video, so look, sure. I mean, you can still use it. This is a good example.
Yeah,
we're doing our podcast and we're using those videos, even if they were like 2 years old, 1 year old, right? They don't really that's the good thing about it. Mm-hmm. It's like when it's there, you can still use it in different ways. I agree totally with what you say when you say, well, be prepared and make sure that you have your time frame settled, and so you can have the best promotion you can use because it's invested money.
It's all a matter of what you want as the end result. If you just want to release a video to release a video, you don't owe no one. You don't owe anything to anyone. Yeah. So, but when you want to use like professional services to promote your stuff, then you have to respect the timelines, and otherwise you're just going to be flushed out of the list.
Yeah.
because they won't want to work with you afterwards. So it's really just a matter of what you want to do with your music and where you want to go.
Yeah,
with your music.
but you could still reach new fans
afterwards. Yeah, I mean,
with that video now, tomorrow, in 6 months, in a year time.
Exactly.
It's always going to be on your YouTube channel. So as long as someone comes to your, your network and decide to spend a little time to dig it up, then they'll find it. And
I mean, there's so much to be said on that subject, and I think we're gonna use that subject in another episode because
another one, for sure.
All right. So up next, we're gonna talk about our featured band of episode 1. So stay tuned. Okay, so as the featured band of episode 1, we chose As We Suffer from Ottawa, Canada, who was submitted to us by John Asher from Asher Media Relations. So I just want to present the actual the players, the entire band. So we have Matt Caldwell on vocals, and we have his cousin, his cousin Ryan Caldwell on bass, and then we have Derek Roblin and Rob Bell on guitars. I don't know Derek personally, but I played with Rob Bell with.
He knows the guy.
I know the guy.
Was he playing in Spectre?
Scepter. Yeah, Scepter.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, so that's the time we played a show with Lycantro, Scepter, and we were opening for Ross the Boss. Yeah, that was the time. So yes, I know the guy. So yeah, Rob Bell is a killer guitarist, and I'm super happy that he's with you guys. And nonetheless, we have Chris Nunn on drums. So I mean, I've listened to these guys for the past year, and for the stuff they released, and everything is freaking awesome. I mean, I love their music. They're absolutely phenomenal. So they have a new album out, which was released on April 30th on 2021. So it was released earlier this year. So it was a self-release, and it was produced by Dark Moon Productions once again. So the name of the album is The Fallen Pillars, and if you go check out a few of their reviews on their Facebook page, you'll see that there's a story behind the actual artwork that they chose for their album, and it's a really interesting story about the Pillars. So I invite you guys to go check out their Facebook page and their YouTube channel and to learn a little more on the subject.
Yeah, they're really into a concept as well. So
yeah, exactly.
I think that was really smart. Definitely.
So a little bit about As We Suffer. So they started out as a cover band as well. But they quickly delved into writing original material, pretty much like we did. I mean, I guess at some point you just get tired of playing covers, and so they were influenced on the early days. I think it was in 2018. Their major influences were Pennywise and NoFX, and similar bands like that. So it was like a punkish, metalcore influences over there.
Yeah, but it's totally gone now.
Yeah, it's totally gone. So it's completely different now. And there's actually a lot of influences from Killswitch Engage, Bullet for My Valentine. And so it's really, really good music, guys. I mean, huge fan here, and congratulations on your amazing album. So Arnold, you wanted to tell us about one of the songs that you wanted to that you listened to, yep, which was Concrete Fist.
Exactly, Concrete Fist into my face. So I didn't know the band like you did. I mean, you're a lucky guy because it was a complete discovery for me. So I listened to what John Asher sent us, and so there was a couple of videos, like 3 videos.
Yeah.
So Concrete Fist was the first one I listened to. It's a lyric video.
Yeah.
It's nothing fancy there. It's just a real simple video with all the lyrics, not much of background activity. But to me, it doesn't matter because I really, I always like concentrate on the music first, and to me,
Yeah.
music comes first, and the image is okay, but to me, you have to judge the music first. And I really dig that band. I'm myself quite a big of Killswitch Engage fan, so
Absolutely.
I totally heard the influence there, but that song is not really typical of the the Killswitch influence stuff. It's more like a heavy, quite melodic guitar playing too, and the vocals. The vocals are really good. Really
Yeah, no kidding.
Not too much of a of a growling sound, but
I think it's well controlled.
Yeah, I think it's nice. It's not too much screaming. It's just just what you need.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
in my taste anyway.
I think so too.
And the sound-wise, it's really good. I mean, I could definitely tell that it was a Dark Moon production. I didn't know about it, and when I listened to it, I thought, wow, it sounds pretty much like what Joe is putting out. So it's definitely a wall of sound.
Yeah.
And the band, I think they really have some like a good original sound. A good way to write music. I was reading as well when I was listening to the song, to the stuff they were writing in the EPK stuff.
Yeah.
And they were saying that they have been influenced by punk rock, but like I said, it's totally gone from at least what I listened to. It was like, to me, it's really some heavy, well-written music. And they were saying that they were going into displaying different styles of heavy. So I really want to dig that and listen to the whole album to see if I can... the other song that I listened to was Fallen Pillars, and there it was really into, the Killswitch Engage format of like clean guitars, clean vocals, and then it gets heavy and fast, and that
all the good stuff,
typical metalcore stuff. Yeah, a lot of jugging stuff.
Yeah.
So that was interesting too. So I really want to I think Concrete Feast is a good way to get into the band, but I really want to listen more of their
Well,
stuff.
there you have it.
Yeah.
If we want to listen more, you did your job.
Yeah.
So congratulations, guys. And
As we suffer.
Oh, for sure. It wasn't suffering, to listen to the music, though.
No.
But so at the end of the podcast, if you want to stay tuned, we will feature, the actual lyric video for Concrete Fist. And we will leave all the details in the video description for As We Suffer.
Right, I think, Steve, this is drawing to the end point here.
Yep, I think we talked about a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us and listening to our first episode of Welcome to Our Apocalypse. There will be more, definitely.
Absolutely, and if you want to stay updated on our future episodes, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Well, we will post everything that we cover on each episode, including the featured bands and all the social media links to these bands. And you can also subscribe, and please do hit subscribe on our YouTube channel to watch our future episodes. So once again, thank you as well for joining us.
Be there next time, metalheads. Thanks a lot.
Till next time, guys.
Till next time.